What are you working on like these days?
Well, I don't know if everyone knows Fabian Marisquillo. So Fabian and I are co-mixing today, something I really enjoy because I think it brings a fresh perspective. And we just finished T-Pain's new stuff. You know, T-Pain stuff is his new work is a bunch of covers. Your active EQ was heavily used on that because it's just a preference. I think you get smoother results compared to the multiband. So, you know, I got a lot of questions about T-Pain's vocals and stuff. And the active EQ, the McDSP I really like it for things like that.
I like it too. I just don't work with, your kind of clients. I work with myself. Let's give it a round of applause for Dawson. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I do want to say, though, it's really surreal to be here. You know, 2019 was my first NAMM ever, and I drove here, and I slept in my car, and I stayed in this neighborhood over here. It was my second day here. I was at the Pensado's Place panel, and I was just scrolling on Instagram, and I saw this Lil Uzi Vert's engineer was here, Kesha Lee, and I was like, oh my God, like, she's right over there. Like, I should go say something. And then I did, and we connected on Twitter. And then the next day, like, I tweeted out like that I was sleeping in my car, like, can't wait to go home and take a shower. And out of the kindness of her heart, she just DM'd me and got me a room the very last day that I was there. And I'm just like, that's the type of thing, like, I just really love our community. Like, we just kind of like look out for each other, and I'm definitely looking to pass on that type of energy as well. And I always looked at that moment as like an affirming moment for me, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know. And I just want to give a shout out to her as well, and like everybody here in the industry. I have so much respect for everybody, you know.
What's my
favorite McDSP plug-in chain? I mean, there's more than one, I hope.
That's
good question.
That's been unchanged. MC404 to the Channel G compressor, and I tried out the KD1, and it sounds crazy. Conventional digital distortion, like from the 90 to 100%, you can really tell it's digital. With this, it just gets sweeter. More warm sounded.
Dave Pensado, I hope the cameras are rolling.
How you doing, Dave?
Back in the day, probably around, 20, 25 years ago,
Yeah.
this skinny, ugly guy walks into my studio and says, hey, you want to try some plugins? I said, yeah. I embellished the story a little bit.